Have you ever wondered why, sometimes, the sun disappears during the day or the moon at night, leaving us in a temporary darkness? Yes, that's an eclipse. An eclipse is a natural phenomenon where one celestial body obscures another. We mainly experience two types of eclipses, solar and lunar. A solar eclipse occurs when the moon blocks the sun, while a lunar eclipse happens when the Earth's shadow falls on the moon. In the next few minutes, we'll delve into the science behind these fascinating celestial events. Remember when the sun disappears for a while in the day? That's a solar eclipse. Now let's dive into the science behind this marvelous phenomenon. In simple terms, a solar eclipse is a celestial event that occurs when the moon gets between the Earth and the sun, blocking the sun's light momentarily. The result? A spectacular sight where the sun seems to vanish from the sky, replaced by a dark disk rimmed by a glowing halo. There are three types of solar eclipses: total, partial, and annular. In a total solar eclipse, the moon completely obscures the sun. Everything turns eerily dark for a few minutes, and you can see stars twinkling in the middle of the day. A partial solar eclipse, as the name suggests, is when the moon only partially covers the sun. It's like the moon takes a small bite out of the sun, but the day doesn't become as dark as during a total eclipse. Now, the annular eclipse is a bit of a special case. It happens when the moon is furthest from the Earth in its orbit, making it appear smaller in the sky. So, when it moves in front of the sun, it doesn't completely cover it, creating a bright, fiery ring or annulus around the moon. This is why annular eclipses are often referred to as ring of fire eclipses. You might wonder why total solar eclipses are so rare. Well, it's because the moon's orbit is tilted about 5 degrees to Earth's orbit around the sun. So most of the time when the new moon comes around, it's either a little too high or a little too low to cause a total solar eclipse. Only when everything lines up perfectly does the magic happen. So, the next time the day turns into night, you'll know that our little moon is casting a mighty shadow. And how about when the full moon suddenly darkens? That's a lunar eclipse. A lunar eclipse, in essence, is a spectacular celestial event that occurs when the Earth, as it orbits around the sun, positions itself directly between the sun and the moon. This alignment results in the Earth casting a shadow on the moon, blocking the sun's light from reaching it. It's as if the Earth is saying, "Excuse me, moon, but I think I need to stand in the spotlight for a bit." Now, not all lunar eclipses are created equal. There are three types that we should get acquainted with: total, partial, and penumbral. In a total lunar eclipse, the Earth's umbra, or the darkest part of its shadow, completely covers the moon. The moon, although in shadow, doesn't just disappear into the night. Instead, it takes on a captivating reddish glow, earning it the nickname blood moon. This happens because the Earth's atmosphere bends some sunlight into the umbra, which then illuminates the moon. A partial lunar eclipse, as the name suggests, occurs when only a portion of the moon enters the Earth's umbra. It's like the moon is playfully peeping from behind the Earth's shadow, only showing us a part of itself. Lastly, we have the penumbral lunar eclipse. This is the subtlest of the bunch, occurring when the moon passes through the Earth's penumbra, or the outer part of its shadow. The moon only slightly dims during a penumbral eclipse, making it a challenge to spot. Now, you might wonder, if the Earth is always moving between the sun and the moon, why aren't we seeing lunar eclipses every month? Well, thanks to the moon's tilted orbit, most of the time it passes above or below the Earth's shadow. Interestingly, lunar eclipses are more common than solar eclipses. Why? Simply because the shadow of the Earth is much larger than the moon's shadow, making it easier for the moon to enter the Earth's shadow than for the Earth to enter the moon's. So when the moon takes on a reddish hue, remember, it's the Earth's shadow you're seeing. Eclipses, whether solar or lunar, are one of nature's most impressive shows. We've explored how these celestial events differ, with solar eclipses occurring when the moon obscures the sun, and lunar eclipses happening when the Earth casts a shadow on the moon. We also delved into the various types of each, be it total, partial, or annular. So the next time you witness an eclipse, remember the fascinating science that's at work behind this celestial spectacle.
हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कीजिए और साथ ही बेल आइकन दबाएं, जिससे समय पर नोटिफिकेशन आपको मिलती रहे। आपका एक लाइक हमें प्रोत्साहित करता है जिससे कि हम नई वीडियो बनाएं। थैंक्स फॉर योर सपोर्ट।